The Community Shield will be upon us this weekend, Saturday the 10th August, as Manchester United, the winners of the FA Cup last season, take on their derby rival, Manchester City, both teams hailing from Manchester. They are rivals, arch rivals, and now they've got to contest for this first silverware of the season. But Man United hereby right, because who did they win in that FA Cup final? They had to beat Man City. Would you believe that? The score was 2-1, and now they've got to give us the opener. It's going to be mouth-watering. It will be thrilling, because between these two teams, form sometimes counts for nothing. Today, as we look at the opening of the season, it's worth looking at Man City and Man United and ask ourselves the question, could it be the season when Man United shed the nearly tag, the rag tag that they had become in the seasons, and suddenly become the United of old? Could Man City again remind everyone that they are just untouchable, unreachable? You'll find everything here on Senior's Last Word, because everyone is tense. Things have been happening. We have seen the pre-season friendlies, teams touring the US, especially the big teams. Man City, during the US tour, not everything has been rosy. They lost out to Celtic 4-3. They did lose to AC Milan 3-2. Yes, they also lost in penalty shootouts to Barcelona after a 2-2 draw. But then, the friendly they had over the weekend, finally, they won their first game in pre-season, beating Chelsea 4-2, with, of course, Haaland, who else, scoring a hat-trick. They are coming good at the right time. And Haaland, by the way, during pre-season, has been a mouthful. He scored 5 goals in 4 games. United, though, have had their share. Their most recent game, perhaps their last friendly, losing out to Liverpool 3-0. Remember, they lost to Arsenal as well, 2-1. They did manage to beat Real Betis 3-2 in a game when, of course, Rashford suddenly found some of his vibe. They also beat Rangers 2-0. So mixed results we've seen in pre-season. We are wondering whether it's going to contribute to the game we are looking forward to, the Community Shield. If you're wondering whether Man United can win the Community Shield, I think your answer is already with you. It's United who beat Man City in the FA Cup. Yes, they can do it again. In the last 9 encounters, head-to-head, between United and Man City in all competitions, United have won 3 times. Twice in the league, once in the FA Cup. And Man City has won 6 times. 5 times in the league, once in the FA Cup. When these two teams meet, sometimes it's beyond form. It turns into a derby thing. Big games like these normally produce fireworks, even if it's just 90 minutes of fireworks. Sometimes players who are showing no signs of revival or who are off form, all it takes is to name the derby and everyone will be right there in it. Could that be key in this weekend's FA Community Shield? By the way, winning this is important. Sometimes we've seen it as just a curtain raiser of a season. We are usually wrong, because what happens in that game normally sets the foundation for all things to come that season. Arsenal, in the last 2 seasons, when they rose to come and challenge City for the title, it all started by them participating in the Community Shield, winning it at once and, of course, losing out in the other. But it does make a difference. Liverpool, 3 seasons ago, when they came to actually challenge and lose out by 1 point, that's how it started with the Community Shield. So yes, gentlemen, Man United, if they get a good result, it could be ominous for the season. Find out everything with my expert analysis, full analysis, if you subscribe to my channel YouTube, Senior's Last Word. The expectations as we go for the Community Shield. Usually at a time like this, we begin by looking at perhaps any new signings that clubs have had. As we speak, perhaps quickly, if we remind ourselves, the signings that United had last season, because maybe it had an impact on their season, which we all know was a very poor season. They signed the Moroccan Amrabat. They signed Regulion from Spurs. They had Hojland, who actually has turned out to be one of the promising players in this current United side. There was Andre Onana. Mixed views, mixed feelings. But yes, he's key, he's still key. There was Mason Mount from Chelsea, who has totally failed to take off. And then Johnny Evans, who has been around because he also played with Leicester City and I think was one of the players who won the title. But also at one time was with United and now made a return. Those were some of the key players that United signed the summer of last season. How many of them succeeded? I would only pick out Hojland, who scored 10 goals in the league. Andre Onana for his antics. Some think he was a flop, others think he came good but let down by largely his defense. This season, no significant signing by United thus far. Whether they will sign before the start of the season, we don't know. But we assume that the team that came through last season is the same team that they're going to be having next season. For City as well, maybe the return of Joao Cancelo, who has been on loan at what? Barcelona. Initially he had gone to Bayern Munich. He's back. Will he win back his place? Because he was one of the players who were guaranteed a starting place before that. Calvin Phillips was also on loan at West Ham. The defensive midfielder, unfortunately for him, his career at City refused to take off. He's been on loan, he's come back, but I don't see much of him coming through or changing because for some reason his career just stagnated. So Joao Cancelo and Calvin Phillips, players who have been at City before, are returning. You remember Phillips was bought with huge money. He's been a flop. So does money really answer the question of who should win the league? No. Calvin Phillips is one of the examples there. So Guardiola is starting with the same team unless he buys something between now and start of the season. Man United as well come through with the same lot. What are we going to see in this game? I'm still upset because Mason Greenwood, the youngster, before he left United under acrimonious circumstances, for him and for me, I thought he was one of the better players for United, the future, but of course with circumstances there, he couldn't keep his place and was let go. Maybe the other departure that might be missed at United would be Rafael Varane. He's gone to Italy. So United are going to still use the same team. United are still going to rely on Erik ten Hag, who almost lost his job before he won that FA Cup. That was his savior. So it's going to be Pep Guardiola versus Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag, by the way, last season proved that in the big games, in the games against the big teams, 90 minutes of football, he has what it takes to rise to the occasion. He did show that. He showed it against Liverpool. He showed it against, you know who? Man City. He can't do that. This is just a single game. So yes, he could rise to the occasion. But do we have any readings to make from the preseason results that both teams have had? Because remember, preseason is about preparation. It's about getting players fit. It's about finding your rhythm, getting the momentum. The FA Community Shield helps to put that momentum together. It matters to win or lose that game. Don't be fooled. If City win, it becomes a worry for the rest of the chasers because then again, they are winning again. But City has been losing Community Shields in recent parts. So really, you don't put past United to beat them. Liverpool beat them 2 seasons ago in the Community Shield. Arsenal beat them, I think 3 seasons before that. So they are beatable. Maybe because they're only trying to get themselves in shape and to prepare themselves mentally. It doesn't matter. However, it does matter this weekend because United fans want to know, have we changed anything? From preseason, maybe not much because they've lost again to the biggies. They've lost to Liverpool 3-0. They lost to Arsenal 2-1. And you wonder, are they ready to turn the tide and begin winning again and show us the United of old? They still have players like Rashford who are failing to come good. Shrug off the pretensions. Shrug off the poor form. Return to the Rashford of old. Will it happen now? Hojland maybe will still lead the charges there. So What should we expect on Saturday? Fireworks? It will already be fireworks between Man United and Man City. The result, does it hurt the future of either of the teams? Does it impact on the season? For United, I dare say, it has a huge impact on their season. A good win will psych them up, will make them get the hunger back again. Because when you test winning, you want to win again. They won the FA Cup, now they're in the mood. If they win the Community Shield again, they get another incentive. Man City, very important not to lose. Because by winning the league by 2 points, then 5 points, then a single point, it is a reminder to them that they are no longer the team that once led by 12 points on their way to the championship. That's 4 seasons ago. No, other teams have done their homework. They're coming for them and they're running at them. They have played catch up. So no more pretensions, no more taking anything for granted. Anyone can win this season, even though City start as the team to beat. They will always have, as long as Pep Guardiola is the coach, and we are looking at the same team that has dominated for that season. Who is going to win the Community Shield? No prediction from me today, because I can tell you United can win that game. But then again, City start as favorites. I won't give you my prediction. I'll only say make sure you don't miss the Community Shield, because Man United taking on Man City is definitely one of the very big games, not just in England, but in Europe. Good luck to other teams, and that's my last word.